Hello, what is up, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic day. Today, I am back with another tier list. Today, we are going to be ranking the Arrowverse seasons from Arrow, Flash, Batwoman, Black Lightning, Constantine, Superman and Lois, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, and we're going to be ranking them by personal favorite. So we have fantastic, great, good, okay, not great, and bad. Alright, so I just want to add there are some seasons on here I am not caught up on, but I have seen at least one episode of each. There also are some seasons that are still running their course, so they are not done. They still have more episodes to come, so I will not be judging them. That I can't put any of them in fantastic. I'm going to do the best I can to kind of estimate how I think the rest of the season will go. But anyways, let's start off with Arrow. Arrow season 1 is definitely an S tier. It is so great. A great season, a great villain, tons of plot twists, great fight choreography, and the drama was very well done. Next, we have Arrow Season 2, which is better than Arrow Season 1 just because of the villain, and I enjoy the flashbacks more. The flashbacks are really good in Season 1 because we're learning everything about how he learned to fight, but in Season 2, it connects more directly to the present day story and learning about Slade. Slade is probably the best villain in the Arrowverse, one of the best villains on TV, and really great season. Felicity was good in these first two seasons. Really likable. Enjoyed her a lot. Every character was at their peak. We got to meet Roy Harper. He was awesome. Next, we have Arrow Season 3. Arrow Season 3 is okay. The villain was alright. I really like Nyssa, so it's good we got to see some of her. Felicity got annoying this season. The whole storyline with Oliver turning evil but not really turning evil was okay. Ra's al Ghul was kind of underwhelming. The way Oliver survived getting stabbed and falling like 100 feet was kind of dumb. And the flashbacks weren't the most exciting. They were better than season 4, but the Hong Kong flashbacks weren't as good as the previous seasons. All in all, this season is okay. I see some people putting in not great and bad. I just believe it's alright. Next, we have Bad for Arrow season 4. This season just was a huge drop in quality. Felicity was at her worst. She was so bossy. The thing with Oliver's son was unbelievable. Like, the way she judged him for not telling her he had a son when Oliver legit found out like 5 minutes ago. She needed to chill on him. I don't know what was going through her mind or the writer's mind. They made her so unlikable. Damien Dark didn't really fit the tone of the show. I think he was way better in Legends of Tomorrow. The whole thing with Diggle's brother was not very, it was kind of bad. Laurel's death, this season just doesn't have a lot great about it, and overall, it's definitely the worst season of Arrow. Arrow Season 5 is another fantastic season. The villain is amazing. He really gets inside Oliver's head. He might be the least powerful villain, power wise, in the whole Arrowverse. However, he really got to Oliver, and I loved how we recreated past things Oliver did. He just manipulated him. The finale was the best finale in the Arrowverse. Super duper crazy. And I liked the addition of new members to the team. Overall, a very cool season. Not a lot bad about it. There's not a lot I can remember bad about it. Felicity was a little bit better this season. Still not as good as she was in the first two. But overall, really fantastic season. Not as good as seasons 1 and 2, but really great, especially coming off season 4. By the way, each tier will be ranked individually. So, for example, season 2 is the best tier, and then season 1, and then season 5, and so on. So, next up, we have Arrow Season 6. This is a bad season, honestly. The drama was at its worst this season. Oliver was kind of a jerk at times. Everybody this season was kind of a jerk. Felicity, I can't even remember what Felicity was like this season because everybody else was just so annoying. Michael Emerson was probably the best part of this season. The fight between the team was so unenjoyable. The fight with Oliver and Diggle. Overall, this season had the worst drama. Definitely one of the worst Arrow seasons. Not as bad as season 4, however. Next, we have Arrow season 7, and I really want to put it in good. I just can't. I'm gonna actually put it. I'm gonna put it above season 3 because I really, really, really loved. I cannot emphasize that enough. I really loved the Star City Slayer with Stanley. He was an amazing villain. I liked the way they slowly kind of showed us his darker side. Over time, we see him start out as an innocent person that's getting beat up and we feel bad for him. And slowly we get to see his more psychotic side. That was really well done. The prison storyline for Oliver was so good. One of my favorite storylines, if not my favorite, in the Arrowverse. But after that, it kind of dropped off. At the time of watching, I thought, what's her name? Emiko Queen was an alright villain. But looking back at it, it didn't really make sense. She was being so petty, going after her brother for something his father did. And Dante, I thought he was kind of cool, but he legit was in like one episode. Plus, a lot of storylines from this season. I can't remember what it's called, forgive me, but the thing that Emiko was a part of, like, it was like a League of Assassins thing. Like the 12 hands or 12 faces, I cannot remember. But that thing never really got resolved. So I'm just gonna keep it in okay. Next up, we have Arrow Season 8, and this one, I think it's kind of a controversial opinion. I know some people don't like it because of its supernatural elements that don't really feel like Arrow. However, I absolutely adore this season. It is fantastic for me. Right behind Season 5. Amazing. Every episode is amazing. I love all the characters we get to see again. The Quentin episode was great. We got to see Tommy. We got to see Adrian Chase. There was lots of cool callbacks. Like Oliver said something like, "I'm 10 steps ahead of you" to Adrian, which is what Adrian said to him. I really wish we got to see Slade. But everything in this season was so well done. A good build up to Crisis. Spoiler, I assume you already know this if you're watching, but a great death for Oliver and the way they did it. By far the weakest episode of this season was the ninth, the spin-off, pilot spin-off for Green Arrow and the Canaries, which was still a great episode. That's saying a lot for the weakest to be great. And it does suck that show didn't get picked up. I think it would have been interesting to see where they would go with it. I'm not gonna say it would have been great, but it would have been interesting to see where they go with that show. I think this season is fantastic. On to Batwoman Season 1. I really loved Alice as a villain, and I loved her backstory. But in terms of other things, and I really hated the character Sophie. She was one of the most annoying characters. And the fighting was pretty badly done, the choreography. I thought Ruby Rose was an alright Kate Kane. She was kind of in the middle for me. I didn't love her, I didn't hate her. So I'm kind of wondering if I should put this in not great or bad. I think in terms of, I'm gonna put it above Arrow Season 4. Just because Arrow Season 4, the flashbacks were really boring. But Batwoman has some good flashbacks with Alice. And again, I'm probably the only one for this, but I think Alice is top 10 villains in the Arrowverse. And I think it's a little bit better than Arrow Season 4 just because of that. Black Lightning Season 1. I'm gonna say Black Lightning Season 1 is a okay season. Gonna go with and I'm gonna put it right behind Arrow Season 7. They did a pretty good job The drama wasn't terrible like normally some of the CW seasons are. The fighting was alright. They really get you to love Jefferson Pierce. Overall, it was an okay season. Nothing amazing, but nothing terrible. Next up, we have Black Lightning Season 2, which I'm debating putting in bad. I'm gonna put it in not great. The writing was all over the place. There were plot lines that they started that they never even finished at all. It was all over the place. It felt like every episode was a different story, a different plot line. Again, the writing was a mess. I can't remember a lot about this season. Khalil is one of my favorite characters, and overall this season, I'm not sure if I'm gonna put it in bad, but the writing was definitely probably the worst in the Arrowverse. You know what? I am gonna put it in bad, just because this season probably has, in terms of organization, out of all the shows, in terms of decisions, it's not the worst. Like Arrow season 4 does some things worse, but in terms of where it is, again, I know I keep repeating myself, but the reason why this season is so bad is because the writing is all over the place. Like, okay, they'll start a plot line here, and then they'll stop, and they'll start one here, they'll stop, they'll go to a new one, they'll stop, they'll go here, they might go back to this a bit, no, they'll skip this one, and then by the end of the season, we have like 10 plot lines going on, and only like 3 of them matter. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you share these feelings with me. Black Lightning Season 3, I'm gonna say, is okay. Behind Arrow Season 3, I really liked Tobias as a villain, and Gravedigger was okay, but I preferred Tobias. Khalil is my favorite character, and, you know, oh, I just want to mention, also in Season 2, we had that whole storyline with Jennifer and Khalil running away, which took up like 4 or 5 episodes. That was pretty boring part of the season. Anyways, for Season 3, I really liked the addition of a team. Finally, we had like Brandon, and we had the guy that can communicate with the radios. That was really cool. We got to see some cool Gamby stuff. Got to see some more stuff with the powers. And overall, an okay season. Again, okay, I still enjoyed. There's just a lot of inconsistency, and these 2 shows right here are Arrow Season 7 and Black Lightning Season 1 are very close to good. I enjoyed them quite a bit. They're just an okay. Black Lightning Season 3, okay. Not a lot bad about it. I liked Blackbird. The drama wasn't over the top, but again, nothing like super memorable. Constantine, I'm also gonna put in okay. It had some cool horror elements, and Matt Ryan was really good in the show. Definitely the saving grace because he's such a good actor. Lots of funny humor, and definitely the creepiest show in the Arrowverse. Legends Season 1. This hurts to put it, but I might put it in not great, just because after the first 2 episodes were so good. Seeing everybody we know from different shows come together, I don't think any other show in the Arrowverse has captured the feeling of that first episode or the first 2 episodes, the pilot. However, after that, I was really excited to watch this show, because when I started the Arrowverse, of course, I saw what Arrow looked like in Flash and Supergirl. They're kind of by the name. But by Legends of Tomorrow, I was like, what does that mean? Of course, I had seen pictures on Netflix. So by the time I got to it, I was like really ready to go. First 2 episodes, amazing. Rest of the season, pretty disappointing. However, Snart's death, or Captain Cold's death, might be top 5 deaths in the show. There are no strings on me. Such a good death. Most badass death. Definitely in Legends of Tomorrow, most badass death. Not the saddest, it is still very sad, but it is definitely one of the coolest. There are no strings on me. Legends Season 2 is a great and This is because of the villains, Legion of Doom. You already know, Reverse Flash, Malcolm Merlin, Damien Dark, all great. The chemistry was awesome. It had a good balance of humor and action. Jax was really cool this season. Everybody was at their peak. We didn't get to see Jax a lot. We actually got to see Nate steal up, which is something we see once after season 2. He barely does it. There are also some cool episodes. Definitely. Whenever there's an episode in the West, the Old West, it's definitely a great episode. I also just want to add for Legends Season 1, the reason why it is not great is mostly because of the Hawk Girl and Hawkeye. Their characters were just not very fleshed out and honestly pretty boring. Next up, we have Legends Season 3. Honestly, I can't remember a lot about this season, but I do remember enjoying it. I'm going to put it right behind Season 2. It had a good balance of action, humor. Every character was cool this season. The finale was surprising and it was funny. There was a lot of good episodes mixed in with Helena of Troy. That was a funny episode, and then when she came back as an Amazonian warrior, that was really cool. Legends Season 4, definitely bad. They had a good balance of humor in the first couple seasons. However, this season took it too far with not enough action and way too much humor. It was the humor was taken to a point where it was just stupid. So, I'm not really sure where to place it in here. I think I'm going to put Arrow Season 6, though, above Black Lightning Season 2 because I enjoyed the Michael Emerson's character, who I can't remember the name of. Legends Season 4, I'm going to put in front of Black Lightning Season 2 right there. So, worse than Arrow Season 6, but better than Black Lightning Season 4. Again, Mona was just not an interesting character. Maybe they can make her better in later seasons, but in this first season, the whole thing with her and the werewolf was boring and really cheesy. The thing with Gary and his nipple, that was really dumb. The humor was just kind of taken to a point where it took over the whole show. And speaking of humor, we have Season 5. I might be the only person on earth to do this, but I loved Season 5. I'm considering putting it above the first 2 or 2 and 3. I'm not 100% sure. I loved a lot of episodes this season, a lot of pop culture references. This is definitely probably the funniest season in the Arrowverse. There's lots of good humor. There's the episode with the zombies. There's the episode where they're on a bunch of different TV shows like Star Trek and Friends, and there was Arrow references. Really fun show. This season's the definition of fun. Matt Ryan is great in it. The reason it's hard to put it in front of these first two is just because we don't have a lot of the OG cast and the OG feels that these first 2 seasons had. Once Ray leaves this season, the season still has some good episodes, but the loss of Ray definitely takes a hit on the show. I think I'm going to put it, we're going to keep it behind 2 and 3 for now. We're going to keep it behind them, but I really love this season in its own way. It might be the funniest in the Arrowverse. Supergirl Season 1 was pretty boring. I'm gonna put it behind Arrow Season 4. The only good part of this season was Astra. Kara was pretty annoying. The whole thing with her and Jimmy Olsen wasn't the best. I liked Cat Grant's character. She was funny. However, there's just not a lot memorable about this season. You know what? It doesn't deserve to go there. I'm gonna put it right behind. I'm gonna put it in front of Black Lightning Season 2. Supergirl Season 2, though, definitely goes. I'm gonna put Season 2. This is difficult. Do I like it more than Batwoman season 1? I'm gonna say no. So I'm gonna put it here. This season's villain, like I said, I liked Astra, but this season's villain was just boring. And I liked the whole storyline with, I can't even remember their name, but the company that that Lena's mom runs. Gosh, anyways, you know what I'm talking about if you watch the show. The 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 company Lena's mom runs, it'll probably come to me. However, the main villain, like Mon-El's mom, was just not a good villain, and the acting wasn't amazing. Just honestly, I don't remember a lot about this season, and I think that shows. It was pretty. It was a pretty bad season. Supergirl season 3 definitely took stuff up. The villain was a little more compelling. Excuse me. Rain. I think it's not as good as Legend season 1 though, just because Legend season 1 had that feel. I know people will come at me for this because I know some people love Supergirl season 3. Supergirl is probably one of my lesser favorite shows in the Arrowverse. I don't enjoy it most of the time, besides when there's a scene with Brainy or Lex. Definitely not as enjoyable. This season was a step up. It had some good parts, but still not great. Supergirl season 4 is okay, and Supergirl season 5, we're gonna rank these together. Supergirl season 5 is better than season 4 in my opinion. These two are both okay. Just because of Lex. Without Lex, these shows would probably be not great, but Lex is such a great villain. He has like a good amount of humor, and he also has an amount of, just badass that works with him. Brainy is also one of my favorite characters, and the reason I rank these seasons together is I feel like a lot of the plot lines continue through these two seasons. These two seasons are very much connected, where each other season was kind of on its own. Each Supergirl season had its own villain. These two seasons kind of carried on together. I thought John Jones's brother was alright. Just to add on Supergirl season 3, I did love Manchester Black. He was one of the coolest characters in the show in terms of badass. These two seasons aren't okay. Flash season 1 might be the best season in the Arrowverse because of Reverse Flash, because of Tom's acting as Harrison Wells / Eobard Thawne. That might be one of the coolest characters when he seems so weak in the wheelchair, but it's hard to explain. It's kind of like Tywin Lannister's presence, like Charles Dance, or like Alan Rickman's presence as Snape. You just feel them in the room. Not to the same degree as those two, but he has that kind of presence. Also, the whole mystery, the whole reveal of Harrison Wells being Reverse Flash, really, really fantastic season, and I really loved it. Flash season 2 is really hard to decide if I like it more than season 1. I thought Zoom was such a good villain. I'm gonna put it behind season 1. Here's the thing. Arrow and Flash, certain seasons of Flash I like more than Arrow, but as a whole, I like Arrow way more. But Flash 1 and 2 are the best seasons in the Arrowverse. There's almost no denying it besides Arrow season 1 and 2. All these four right here are so close. It's not like Arrow season 1 is so much worse than Flash season 1. These are all very close. But the mystery aspect, I know it also is in Arrow season 1, but the mystery aspect in Flash season 1 I enjoyed a lot more. Also, just this show is so good. From the quality compared to what I mean by that is look at the quality of Arrow season 4 and then look at the quality of Flash season 2. It's such a big jump, and Zoom was a fantastic villain and Reverse Flash. The origin story of Barry Allen was done well. The particle accelerator, just the mysteries, that's what made these first two seasons great. And again, Harrison Wells / Eobard Thawne. I loved him as that smart, quote-unquote, weak guy in a chair First time you were watching the show, you were on the edge of your seat every scene that Harrison Wells was in it. Flash Season 3. I don't think this season is terrible. I'm going to put it in good. I love HR. Savitar Villain was alright. Kid Flash was cool. Iris was definitely a bit annoying this season. This is where she started to get a little worse. She was still bad in the first 2 seasons. At least Iris had some good seasons. I don't see any redeeming qualities for Iris. I mean, in the first season, you want to argue she's good? Well, she rejects Barry, and then when Barry gets his own girlfriend, she kind of messes things up with him. Talking to Linda doesn't exactly help Barry's chances. She kind of puts them down, kind of screws the relationship up a bit, causes a bit of drama. But anyways, Season 3, loved HR. He should have survived. They disrespected my boy. Savitar was an alright villain. I just hated the way they handled him. Like, imagine Savitar had killed Iris. Barry would not be like, oh, let's invite him in and have a cup of tea. No, but since they killed HR, he was fine, like, making a truce. Just felt like disrespecting HR. But I'm ranting. I'm gonna just keep this in good. It could go down in okay. Flash Season 4 I did not enjoy. I loved the Thinker as a villain, but if they had kept the same actor, the original DeVoe, he did a great job, and I think it would have been better if it was without all the swapping bodies. I also liked the addition of Ralph Dibny. I'm gonna put this season, I'm gonna say it's worse than Supergirl Season 4 Arrow. We'll put it, I'm not sure. Okay, do I like it better than Arrow Season 4? I'm gonna say I don't. Do I like it better than Legends Season 4? Yeah, we're gonna put it above Legends Season 4. Still a bad season. Just Iris was so bossy. The whole thing about Iris not wanting to save Barry, try to get Barry out of the Speed Force, was the most ridiculous thing ever. Like the whole, oh, I finally got over it. I don't want to try to get him back, because what if we don't? Oh my, okay, I could rant about it for hours. This season was a drop in quality, and there's not a lot memorable about it besides that scene where DeVoe goes to the Argus building and uses his powers. One of the coolest scenes in The Flash, but DeVoe was very underused. Flash Season 5, I'm gonna put in not great. Better than Legends Season 1. Just Cicada was a really bad villain, and the fact that Iris was able to overpower him made no sense. I'm all for, like, woman power and stuff like that, but you gotta do it right, and having Iris get the upper hand on a super villain just didn't work. The acting wasn't that great, and Cicada was by far the most boring villain in The Flash for me. The only saving grace of this season was Eobard Thawne manipulating Nora. I absolutely loved that storyline, and I loved that Ralph was the one to figure it out. The Ralph, the one that is always been underrated and laughed upon. That was my favorite part, but overall I thought the season was not great. Flash Season 6, I'm gonna put in, okay, right behind Arrow Season 3. It was definitely a step up. However, as a whole, I thought it was just okay. Bloodwork was a good villain, but the second half of the season after Crisis is what puts it in okay. If they had kept up the quality from the first half, yeah, Iris was annoying in the first half, don't get me wrong, but she was better than she had been the previous seasons. And then the whole Mirror Iris thing was not really that exciting. Just not a lot about the second half of this season is good. The Bloodwork villain, amazing acting. The Last Temptation of Barry Allen is my top 10 Flash episodes. Both parts of that episode. The Last Temptation of Barry Allen Part 1 and The Last Temptation of Barry Allen Part 2. Both great episodes. Lots of callbacks to things that have happened in previous seasons, people that have died. Loved that episode, but since we gotta account for the second half, we're gonna put it in okay. As for Batwoman and Black Lightning, season 2 and 4, Batwoman season 2 and Black Lightning season 4, I'm gonna put at the end, and this is just because I only saw the first 2 episodes of these, and I didn't enjoy them, and I haven't continued watching. The Batwoman one just was dumb. A lot of stuff in it made no sense, and it was cringy, and the Black Lightning one was honestly just boring, and the drama was annoying. However, I might continue watching them. I have not given up. Just, I am watching some other things right now, like Better Call Saul, Queen's Gambit, Supernatural, and Schitt's Creek. Those are all shows I'm currently watching. And these 2 shows just didn't hook me in these premieres. If you guys tell me in the comments, oh my god, Black Lightning Season 4 and Batwoman Season 2 have gotten so much better, maybe I'll go watch them. But as of now, I'm just going to leave them down and bad. I'm not saying the whole season is bad, just the first 2 episodes I saw were bad. And I also don't mean these first 2 episodes were worse than like everything here. These ones aren't really ranked. They're just kind of down and bad. Superman and Lois, I want to put in fantastic, but since it's so early on, I'm going to put it at the top of great. Definitely could be in fantastic. The first 2 episodes have been fantastic. I just don't know if they're going to pull like a Arrow Season 7 or a Flash Season 6 and they're going to drop the ball. Great villain, great acting, amazing cinematography, and great effects puts it at a great. And Flash Season 7, I will be continuing Flash. I thought the premiere was alright. I was kind of sad that they killed off all the Wells, because Wells is probably my favorite character in Flash, and without him, without Sherlock or HR or Harry, it's going to be very sad. Sad. Hopefully they come back in some way. I'm just going to put it right above its fellow Flash Season 6, because I think the premiere for Flash Season 7, well, you know what, we'll put it just behind Season 6. I'm not saying it's better than all these shows. It's okay, the premiere, and I'm not really sure how the rest of the season is gonna go, so we're just gonna keep it in okay. Alright, let me know in the comments what you think. Let me make some adjustments. We're gonna move, alright, no. I really want to move Arrow Season 7 to good, but just after the prison storyline, it's not good, and I can't justify that. However, if we were just saying first 8 Arrow episodes, definitely would be good. But thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you later if you come back and watch another video. Bye.